Val. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started just like usual. So we're going to find all that length in our spine, stacking all the vertebrae on top of one another. We're going to hit those chin tucks back for 10. Let's get ready and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's reset. Take a moment. We're going to do our head turn side to side now. Ready? And begin. 10. Back to center. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2, and 1. Good. We're going to do one more for 10 reps here with our cat cow. You can do this seated, arcing and tucking, okay, flexing and extending our spine, or you can stand up just like this and do it like this. We're just going to do 10 reps, okay? Ready? And begin. 1, untuck. 2, untuck. 3, untuck. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're going to go into the timed part of our warm-up now. And then, just like last week, we're going to do all of our exercises in one block and then repeat it 2 more times. I did add more balance and core into it after our conversation last week. But for now, we're going to start with our warm-up. 3 rounds, 30 seconds each. Okay, we're going to start with our 4-count cherry pickers, reaching out, middle in with that arm circle back. Okay, same if you're seated here, outwards, middle, in, and back. Okay, then we're going to go right into our hand curl pull back. So if you're seated, you're closer towards the edge of your chair so we can tap it. And if you're standing, heel back, okay? After that, side step with our lateral reach, okay? So step it out, step it out, step it out, okay? Step, 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 and squat, pivot, and reach, okay? So if you're doing a seated squat, pivot, and reach, you're going to do leg extension, reach, reach, leg, leg, reach, reach. And if we're standing, squat, pivot, and reach. Squat, pivot, and reach, okay? All right. So we're going to start with the cherry picker, the 4-count with the arm circle. Let's get ready and begin. Outwards, towards the middle, a little bit inwards, and then we'll take an arm circle back, okay? Out. Just through your range here, we're waking the body up. Should feel a stretch to the back of the legs, stretch through the front of the shoulders as we rotate back. 5 more seconds here. We're going to go into those hand curls with that rowboat arm. Here we go. All right, so. Go at a pace that's comfortable for you. And remember, we always just use the timer as a guide. Okay, you listen to your body. 10 more seconds here. And then we're going to go to that side step with our lateral reach. 3, 2, and 1. Side, 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 side. You can slow it down or pick it up, okay? You might want to feel the stretch a little bit and slow it down. Or you might be trying to get that blood flow going and you might be going a little quicker, okay? You find what works. We're going to do our squat, pivot, and reach next. Remember, that's an alternating leg extension to an alternating reach. Here we go. Squat, reach. Creating a little rotation in the body. we're gonna go back to the top after this one. So we're gonna go back to that 4-count cherry picker with the arm circle. In 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Out, middle, inwards, circle. About 5 more seconds here, then we're going to go back to those ham curls. And here we go. Side step and reach is next. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Reach. With that nice side body stretch. Warming up these shoulders. We're going to go into our squat, pivot, and reach next. Here we go. Squat, pivot, and reach. Sinking the hips back and down. We're going to go one more round through. In about 5 seconds, going back to our 4-count cherry picker with the arm circle. Here we go. Out, middle, in, circle. Out, in, mid, circle. Final set of all of our warm-up moves now. 5 more seconds here. We're going back to those ham curls. 2 and 1. Here we go. Side step with the lateral reach is next. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Side step. Nice length on one side of the body. Just one more exercise after this in our warm-up. That squat, pivot, and reach. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Sink it back and down. Twist. Five more seconds, and then we will take a look at our working exercises. 2 and 1. Okay, go ahead and get a drink here. So we're going to do 3 rounds of this. It's 10 minutes long. First one, we'll kind of be like, okay, this is how we do the exercise, and then we'll have it a little more ingrained, round 2 and 3. First one, going to work on our shoulders and posture and shoulder health here with our goalpost fly with internal and external rotation. Then we're going to go into our hinge and row. My dumbbells right here, right? Our hinge, one of our staples, pull it back and row, okay? That's going to look the same seated. We're going to hinge it forward with the neutral spine, pull it back and back up, okay? After that, we're going to go into a lateral shift. If you're seated, we're going to lateral tap it. Okay. And if we're standing, you can either use a chair or you can just put your hands out in front of you. We're shifting our weight from one side, driving up, and then the other. Okay. We want to really activate our glutes here. So we're trying to sink back. The weight is in the heel of our foot so we can press up and activate through the side. Okay. So what we don't want to do is this, right? We don't want the knee to go forward. We want the hip to go back. And if you're learning that pattern, I do recommend maybe holding onto a chair just to make sure you're pushing your hip back, okay? And then we're gonna do half the time. We're gonna do a single leg bicep curl for half the time. And then we're gonna switch lead leg for half the time, okay? Then we've got, and if you're seated, just have one leg up, goblet sit squats or alternating leg extensions. We're gonna do a tricep kick back, all right? And 3 count hold, 1, 2, 3, hold, switch it, 1, 2, 3, hold, okay? And then rushing, then we've got 3 core exercises. I'll just get to that when we get there, okay? We'll be in the chair, everyone will be in the chair for those last 3 exercises. They're chair core exercises. All right, guys, let's get started here. Goalpost fly, internal and external rotation to start. Remember, if you're standing, kind of tuck your pelvis so that everything feels scooped and engaged here as we work through this movement, okay? All right, no wait for this one. Let's get ready and begin, okay? Seated or standing, you're standing, we're tucking that pelvis, all right? We're thinking of pulling the shoulder blades back. They're the muscles working to get those elbows to come back this way right here. Halfway through this one, and then we're going to grab our dumbbells for our hinge and row, working the big lats in our back and the hamstrings and glutes, everything on the back side of the body with this next move. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm going to grab those weights. If you have more than one pair of weights, this one I would suggest your heavier set, okay? Rolling the shoulders back and down, okay, keeping them together, or keeping them packed here. We're gonna hinge it down, belly button to spine, row, and then use your hamstrings and glutes to push your hips forward, which is gonna make your upper body stand back up. We're really trying to dial into our back muscles behind our rib cage as we pull those dumbbells up. And then when we're down here, right at this point, when I push my hips forward, I'm really thinking of my hamstrings and glutes as doing that. Five more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. Next, we're going to go into our lateral shift. Okay, so you're doing lateral taps if you're seated. If you're standing, if you're working on this pattern, hold on to the chair. You might not need it, but it's a good option if you are. Here we go. So nice and wide with that stance. My toes are facing in front of me, forward. Hip back. I'm going to push through the heel to drive it back up. Hip back, push through the heel. I'm trying to turn my glute on one leg at a time, okay? I'm getting length and stretching out of one side, and then I'm trying to make that mind muscle connection as I drive back up on the other. Past halfway. We're going to do our balanced bicep curls next. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to grab our weights. Roll the shoulders back and down. Okay, if you're seated, you can still do this on one leg here. Okay, we're gonna hold up. I'm gonna tell you when to switch, and we're gonna keep a piece of paper between our elbows and rib cages. Here we go. Tell you when it's time to switch legs. Maybe find a point to stare at somewhere. 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Woo. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, my. Okay. Moving right along. We're going to go into a goblet squat next. So we're going to hold our weight right at our chest here. The heels are about shoulder width apart. We're going to sink it back and down. Ready? And begin. Remember, if you're seated, we're doing an alternating leg extension with a flexed foot. When we're goblet squatting, we're thinking of pushing the floor away, and that's what's making us stand back up, right? Belly button to spine from start to finish. Ten more seconds here. We're going to work on the back of our arms. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Next exercise, this would be lighter weights here, okay? We're going to do a hinge. Their elbows here. Kick back, up, okay? So just like when we did those bicep curls, I'm keeping that piece of paper in between. Think of like in between your shoulders and your elbows, like that part of your arm, right? You're holding that paper there as we work through our hinge, kick back, bring it back, hinge, kick back, bring it back. Don't let that paper fall. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. 3 count hold march. So 3 seconds on one side, 3 on the other for the entire 45 seconds. Let's get ready. Opposite hand and foot, begin. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. Maybe find a focal point to stare at. 1, 2, 3, switch. 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 One more. 1, 2, 3, and switch. Okay. 3 core exercises now. We're going to go into a Russian twist. We're all going to sit here. Okay, we're all going to sit, and we're going to lean back slightly. Cross our hands here. All right, here we go. You see how I have this little scoop? I'm leaning back a little bit, and I'm just twisting one side to the other. I'm thinking of that elbow pulling back as I twist and twist. Exhaling every time you get to the end range of your twist. Exhale, exhale. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. You can lean it forward, arc out your back here for a second. The next one we're going to do is a rope pull with a lean back. So what I'm going to do is I'm sitting closer to the edge of my chair. I'm going to grab my imaginary rope and pull it back with my hips. Other side. Pull back. Grab. Think of really rounding and making a C through your hollowing through your belly here, okay? All right, we need the hips involved, right? And that rounding. Almost think of tapping your shoulders back to the back of your chair and then reaching all the way forward. Shoulders tap and bring it back forward. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay. Last core exercise. Okay. We are doing our alternating knee raises, and you can add a cross elbow to it if you like, or if that's really aggressive, you can just stay right here. Okay. Here we go. Either or is fine. All right. Trying to keep just a heel tap on the floor here. My toes aren't on the floor. It's just my heels. Nice strong exhale as you bring that chest and knee towards one another. We're going to rest after this one. "15 seconds. Keep it going here. Woo. 3, 2, and time. Good. All right, let's just go ahead, sit it back, and then you can just kind of do a cat-cow here. Release your spine. Good. All right. So that was round 1. You can get a drink. So now we kind of have an idea of what the flow is here. I'm going to hit it up again here. And we're starting back to the top with our shoulder stability. Okay, so we're going to do that goalpost fly with internal and external rotation. Very lightweight, 1 pound, water bottle, something like that, or no weight. Okay? All right, guys. Here we go, round 2. Goalpost fly. Remember, if you're standing with me, we're tucking that pelvis. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Pulling back, internal, external, together. Halfway. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Hinge and row. So this is where if you have 2 sets of weights, this would be the one where you can grab your heavier pair. We're going to be working larger muscle groups, the ones in our back and our glutes and the back of our legs. You're standing with me. Roll those shoulders back and down. Here we go. Hinge, row. Keeping that belly button to spine. Finding a fixed point on the floor somewhere in front of you to stare at so that your neck stays in good alignment with your back. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those. Our body weight lateral shift, or we're doing those lateral taps, okay? I'm gonna show you our side profile here. Go really wide with our feet and toes are forward, guys, like about this wide, okay? There we go. So hip goes back, right? All the weight is in the heel of my foot. When I'm in this end range right here, like I can wiggle my toes in my sneaker. Now I can drive up on that heel or on that heel and activate that glute. Searching for the mind-muscle connection. Talking to this bent leg right here, I'm saying engage, engage, engage. It's like come up, like I'm telling that muscle to work. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, That one's priming us for our bicep curl on one leg. And split that in half with our lead leg, okay? I'll hold that piece of paper between our elbows and rib cages. Here we go. Let's pick a leg and begin. And time. I should have put my timer in front of me instead of to the side. Ooh. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Okay. Goblet squats are next. So heavier weight for this one if you have 2 sets. All right, we're going back to the lower body here. Feet are about shoulder width apart. And so get back and down. Here we go. Back and down. Press the floor away. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Okay. Tricep hold. Okay, we're gonna hold it right here, right? As we hinge back, kick back, bring it back. Okay, here we go. Hinge. Working the back of the arms when we kick back. Keeping that belly button to spine. This hinge is no different when we do our hinge and row as far as the hips go, right? We're just switching up the upper body movement to be a tricep kickback instead of a row. Think of your hips driving forward by squeezing those glutes to drive them forward. 2 and 1. Whew. Okay. Next balance exercise, we've got our 3 count hold, alternating side to side. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3. Hold if you want the extra challenge. We'll make it almost like a standing dead bug. Hold. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. Shift from the side. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. And time. Okay. Next one. This is our chair series here. So we're going to start with that Russian twist. All right. Do the side profile so you can see what I mean. I'm closer towards the edge of the chair so that I have room to scoop back, right? A little C curve. And we're going to twist. Think of pulling the elbows back from side to side. Feel your body rotating around your spine here. If it becomes really aggressive, you can always add last week. We sometimes add those little forwards in just to take a little pressure off. So you can add a little forward fold in if you feel a little too much pressure in your back here. Ten more seconds here. Feel those obliques working for you. Whew. 3, 2, and one. Recover. In between, you can do little cat-cows here just to kind of massage your spine. Our next one, we're going to do that seated pull, right? So I'm sitting upright. I'm going to grab my imaginary rope. I'm going to pull it all the way back. Other side. Here we go. We've got our knee tucks next. Three, two, and one. Good. A little spinal massage in between. All right, and then our next one, we're leaning back again. Our legs are straight here. My heels are, my feet are flexed, and I'm going to bring it in. All right, so I'm pulling my chest in towards my knee, getting both my lower and upper abdominals. If you'd like a challenge and you want to add that opposite elbow in, you can, but you don't have to. Keeping that belly button pulled back towards the spine as you tap those shoulders back onto the chair behind you. Five seconds. And time. All right, guys, that was round two. Let's take a little drink here and go through it one more time. Okay. Reset. All right, so one more round through, guys. We're going to start with our shoulder and our hip and core stability. Starting with the shoulders with our goalpost fly. Let's get ready and begin. All right, so tucking the pelvis, shoulder health right here, promoting healthy posture and good mobility through the shoulder joint. Our hinge and row is next. Three, two, and one. Okay. Hinge and row. All right. We're going to roll those shoulders back and down. We want the shoulders packed. Okay. Roll them back and down and keep them there. Right. Here we go. Ready? And begin. We're going to push the hips back. Nice neutral spine. Hips and shoulders are fixed. Thinking of pushing those glutes forward. And that's what stands us up. Staring at that fixed point somewhere in front of you to keep your neck in line with your spine. Five more seconds. Two, and one. Okay. Lateral shift, okay? Trying to develop that strong mind muscle connection right before we do our balanced bicep curls. Okay, so again, really wide stance here. Okay, here we go. Hip goes back, right? Hip back, mind muscle connection as I drive up through that bent knee. Squeeze, right? Got to strengthen that connection. We got to think about it while we're doing the activity, right? To stay connected to the intention. Five more seconds here. 2 and 1. Okay. We're going to grab our lighter weights now. You don't even have to use weights for this, especially if you're feeling accumulated fatigue. I'm going to put my timer in front of me, so I have to turn my head this around. One leg, ready? Begin. Elbows stay glued to the rib cage. Three, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Find a fixed point. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Okay. Goblet squats are next, or our alternated seated leg extension. All right. Heels are about shoulder width apart. Here we go. We're going to sink it back and down. Drive up. Push the floor away. Squeeze the glutes and quads as you're pushing the floor away. Keep that belly button pulled back. All right, work your reps with intention and focus. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Woo. Tricep kickbacks. We're going to hold at that 90-degree, right? Hinge, kick back, bring it back, okay? Lighter weights here. Ready? Shoulders back and down. Here we go. Hinge, kick back. So it's still our hinge, right? We're still driving those hips forward by squeezing our glutes. And that hip drive forward is what makes our upper body stand up, because our hips and shoulders, we fix them as one unit, right? We're moving them at the same rate. Getting the back of our arms with this tricep kickback. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. 3 count hold march. Okay. Opposite hand foot. If you want to add that challenge, we'll do a standing dead bug here. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3. Hold. And if for some reason this feels super easy for you, 1, 2, 3. Switch. The next level would be to try to do it with your eyes closed, but only if you feel really confident. 2, 3, or you have a wall right next to you. 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. One more. 1, 2, 3, and switch. Okay, core series to finish it off. We're going to start with that Russian twist, okay? So making that little C curve here. Okay, scooping slightly. All right, and twist. Crossing those fingertips on opposite shoulders here. Remember, if you feel a lot of lower back discomfort and you need to kind of bring it forward, we can go back to that 1, 2, 3, 4, reach, bring it back. Okay, so that's a way to kind of break up any kind of discomfort. A little bit of exercise discomfort is okay, but I mean like acute pain discomfort. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, all done with those. Next, we're gonna do our rope pull. Okay, so we're gonna lean it forward, pull it back. All right, let's get ready and begin. Maybe even visualize that you actually are pulling something really heavy, a rope, okay? Say we're bringing an anchor up off a boat, okay? Imagine that you have to use that force, that energy that you have to pull that anchor up. Three, 2, and 1. Good, we've got one more. And these are our alternating knee tucks, okay? So we can lean it back, legs are extended, flex foot, and we're bringing our chest towards our knee. Let's get ready and begin. So you can stay right here, holding on to the sides of your chair. You feel really strong and you want to challenge yourself, add a little elbow. Only if you feel it. Almost there, 10 seconds. 3, 2, whoo, and 1. Oh man, all right, nice work, guys. Let's go ahead and just kind of shake that out here. We're gonna start with our stretches seated here in a second, okay? Let's take a moment to catch our breath here. And then the first thing we'll do is, from a seated position here, is we're just going to slowly roll it forward. You can sit back further on your chair so you feel like you're nice and on it here, okay? And see if you can just release, like gravity, kind of release what you can here through, feel like your neck and like the space between your vertebrae, because you're just letting gravity pull you down here. Feeling a stretch through your spine and neck. And when you're ready, very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, super slow. Letting your neck come up last. Good. From there, let's do some shoulder rolls. 6, 7, and go to 8. Good. And now we're going to take one side of our shoulder and we're going to pull it down and over. Okay. I'm visualizing that space between my spine and my shoulder blade. Like I'm thinking of the lengthening of my muscles between there, and you might even feel it across the front here. Okay. Same thing, other side. Down and over. Visualize that space. Good. From here, let's do our neck and trap. Gentle pull and a gentle reach. Same thing, other side. Good. Let's go ahead and do an arc over here. We'll pick one side, try to look behind that shoulder to the best of our ability without force. And when you're ready, reach it over to the other side. And back to center. Let's do our figure 4 here. Okay, crossing our leg here, keeping the length through the spine here, a side view here, keeping my length, just a gentle forward fold over. I'm feeling it right through here. Good, and then let's take that leg, that's same leg we just stretched, and do our ankle flex and point for 5, and our circles 5 each direction. And then the same combo on the other side. So that cross leg, find that length in the spine, gentle lean forward. It's not very, you don't move very far forward, but we should feel that stretch with that side glute. Good. And then from there, our flex and point, 5, and then circles 5 each direction. And same thing other side. All right, guys. So when you're ready, let's take a nice big inhale up. Breathe it all in and exhale, let it out. One more, inhale. And exhale, palms to heart. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it today. So this is like a little foam rollers that come in all different sizes, right? But basically, you can sit on the floor, right? And you kind of like put your leverage on this foot here so that, you know, the weight is, you can kind of manipulate and roll over your calf just like this here, right? And sometimes you might want to turn your ankle inwards a little, or your toe inwards a little bit, right? And then in this, the toe straight up, right? And then maybe to the outside as well. So you're getting all angles of that, okay? And it's, I got my palm behind me here so that I can kind of help move myself back and forth. Like most of the time, the best time to foam roll is when you're warm, like so we have, or before a workout, or when you're warm after a workout or after a shower, okay? Because before a workout will help get you a little prepped for your workout. And then when you're warm, will help everything's already kind of like already released, and it'll help release a little more. You can foam roll and then do a couple stretches for your calves afterwards, like dropping your heel off the back of the stair, right? And feeling that stretch through the back. So maybe about like 30 seconds per side. And sometimes if, you know, sometimes when our muscles are really sore, like if you can, if when you're massaging it with a roller, if you can bear a little bit of the discomfort, that little bit of pain, only what you can bear, you know what I mean? Don't force yourself into something that hurts. But sometimes working through the knot in the muscle, the tight muscle, you can kind of, you know, think of like a Swedish massage, right? When they get in there, kind of the same idea. So if you can handle a little bit of discomfort, just a little bit, what you can handle, that's okay, right? And a lot of the stuff that we do, a lot of our movements, the nice thing is when we do things like our lunges and our squats and things like that, we do need to remember that even though it's not a direct core movement, that it requires core engagement. So we are, even when we don't realize it, sometimes having to keep everything engaged is still complementing our core. So, first and foremost, don't ever get too frustrated with the breathing. If you're like, oh man, like I keep on messing, like it's okay. Sometimes just focusing on the mind muscle connection, like you can focus on that first, right? But the breathing, the easiest way to say it without demo right away is that you're always going to exhale where on the harder part of the movement. So where gravity is not helping you, okay? So for instance, our goblet squat, right? Gravity is helping us when we're sinking down, right? That's a little bit easier than having to push ourselves back up, right? So we're gonna inhale on the easier part where gravity is helping us, and then exhale on the harder part where gravity is not helping us. So if we think about it in terms of gravity, now let's take a bicep curl. Okay, we're going to inhale when gravity is helping us, right? And we're going to exhale on the harder part when gravity is not helping us, when we're working against gravity, okay? So that's a quick way you can kind of check, like, wait, Am I working with gravity or against it? If you're working with gravity, you're going to inhale. And if you're working against it, you're going to exhale. Okay, because that's where when we give a nice strong exhale, like, and the more movement, like the more we can train our core to move as we exhale, feel that, actually feel the muscle pull in, the more we're activating those deep, deep core muscles. So inhale, exhale, right? Put that nice strong exhale on that harder part there to keep your core solid. I hope that was helpful.